Yo, this is Todd, Mr. Todd, actually. If you're nasty, uh, yeah, you're in Patchworld. This is a skybox that I brought into the game, and it's a pretty pretty easy setup. There's a web portal that we have as part of the environment of the platform, and you can just pull in things like 3D assets and skyboxes and GIFs and images and videos and everything like that. That can go in to Patchworld, but also we have these things in World that users have created and content creators have created to make music happen really easily in a multiplayer situation. So I wanted to show something really quick how it works while we're here in this 360 space. And I wanted to show you first, this is called a melody sequencer. And on the side, you'll see that it has notes and velocity, and then also has like a transpose and blah, blah, blah. But here's where the magic happens. All I got to do is pull with my trigger button, pull what's called a jolt out of this melody sequencer. And this jolt holds within it just sort of number information. It doesn't hold sound, it holds just numbers. So if I want this to send the melody information to something, I need to have a sound module. So I'm opening up the menu in Patch, and under devices, you'll see a heading that says make music, and then you'll see sound modules. And in sound modules, there's a ton of stuff that's available already. Some of them is there for sale, but I use a sound module called Sampler, and Sampler is free in the store. And yeah, it basically is everything you would need to get started making some sounds here. Here is the real behind the scenes secret of Patch. Samples are actually made in a bubble format. So if I bring in a sample, I go to my menu and look under sounds, and in this case I'm going to make an easy sounding sound. It's an organ. Well, organs can get a little bit out of control. Some, your organs. But I put an organ in here. But you know what? I can also pull in any other sounds that are in the library, or bring in my own sounds. And these are just one hits. They're single hit sounds, and I believe they're a C. And then you just drop it into the sampler, and then bring the notes over to the side of the sampler where it says note. And immediately it makes sound, as you can hear. And that sound can change on a bunch of different ways. The most easy way is just unplug it from the sampler. But there's so many different ways that you can adjust the sequencer, and so many ways you can adjust the sample itself. So first, I'm going to go real quick with the sequencer, and in on the sequencer, you'll see advanced button right there. And that advanced button gives you options like how fast do you want this to go through the sequence? What direction do you want the cursor to take it, backwards or forwards? How long do you want the whole thing to be? Do you want it to be one note? And the cool thing is that you can adjust these while it's playing, and you'll hear the difference. Let me show you. I'm going to change the length. And I'm just turning the knob by holding down my trigger button and waiting till you can see the actual knob light up, and then I just kind of turn it like like you would. Now if I want to go backwards, change direction, change the rate. It's a little too fast. I'm going to go eighth note. Yeah. So those are ways you can do that. I'm getting tired of the organ sound. I'm going to change it up for piano sound. Yeah, I like that better. And also you can change the octave. Yeah, just by turning that knob. And you can also change the actual where the pitch starts from. But you might be thinking, well, Mr. Todd, how do I know what notes these even are? Well, up here on the top it says show scale. It's basically telling you what notes in the scale are being played. It lights up. So if I want to change it, all I do is take the end of my wand and push the different parts of the scale. And now I get a different sound altogether. So then, but and also if I want to change this, all I do is I put my wand inside, hold down the trigger button, and then this is where really cool stuff happens too. Is like I can change different things over here. I can make the glide go up a little bit. I can make the decay down a little bit. I can change the filter. Which changes the sound of this. But then also, one of my favorite things to do in Patch is to add little audio effects. And so that you don't get totally worn out by that sound, I'm going to turn this off. You can turn this off by pulling the bubble out. That's one of the things you can do. But I'm going to bring in an echo box. Now notice, this is a jolt. So this is electrical information or number information. But look at this. This looks like a guitar cable or an audio cable, right? So that's what it is. In Patch, it's called a stream. You plug that right into the side there. And now I'm going to put it into an echo. It's going to have an echo audio effect on it. So let's put that bubble back in. Pretty nifty, right? Love it. So you might be wondering, okay, this is that all this thing does? Is just just music? No. But I'm going to wait and do a different stream a little bit later to tell you, what that is. But one thing I forgot to do is I was going to share this link with people, and I haven't done that. Let me see if I can get it. Copy and paste. I'm going to see if I can get anybody in here to get some questions going here. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can answer some questions while I'm in here. I have the chat going. Yeah, so I'm just going to type in here. I am. So I don't know if anybody can see this yet, but it's just a test run, really, because the 360 part of this is kind of important because anything in a 360 environment is pretty much just conceptual for people that aren't wearing the headset. So I thought, let's make it so it's not. So I'm going to add a couple of different things to here. One is called a procedural line. And a procedural line is just what you might think it sounds like. It's just a specific little block. And as we were talking about before, it has a stream. It has a stream, but here's what's cool about this is that this particular block, you have devices that are made out of blocks, and then you have blocks that are just by themselves. This block can be changed both with jolts and with streams. But what I've seen some of the most crazy things happen is using blocks that are math related, and I know that for some of you that scares you. It scares me, to be quite honest. But In the blocks menus, you're going to see something that's called an oscillator. If you just start spelling in the search bar at the very bottom, OSC, it'll come right up. This is an oscillator. So when I press an oscillator and plug it into one of these things, you'll get this crazy line here. Now if I want to put a couple of lines, copy, copy. So now I've got these nutty lines that are a circle, right? Well, what if I wanted to take what's coming out of the sampler and make that kind of determine what the sound sounds like? Well, right now we don't got anything going on with the sampler. I'm gonna see how that affects the sound directly. Well, the cool thing is too is that the notes themselves can actually move some stuff in here. So like I could change just the note sequencing. See how that just that moving that jolt over and changing stuff in here, that changes stuff. I'm gonna take that off. That maybe do this over here. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm just kind of experimenting. And now you've got this cool visual that goes along directly with the sequence. Whoops. Lost my speaker. Ugh. This is all old age, so don't I mean, if this is the worst thing that happens in old age, then bring it on. So it's already a little bit crazy. I'm going to turn down the rate. And I'm also going to change, this where the stream is plugged into the thickness. Ooh, maybe that's a little too much. Or maybe I'm going to take what the note is doing and bring it over to the thickness. Oh, no, again, too much. Too much! Alright. Okay. Alright, that's kind of cool. But since nothing's happening really because there's no sound, this is all coming just from the sequence by itself. So I'm going to put this on here. So this answers your question, probably. Is this just a music app? No. No, it is not. As a matter of fact, it's a platform that brings it all together. And my interaction with it creates, creates a whole brand new world that wasn't there before, and it's my own choices based on what I know the tools in Patchworld do and my own imagination that are the only limits, really. So if you go to the workshops that will happen on Tuesdays, you find out about those on the Discord. But if you go to those workshops, you'll find people that have been trying really crazy things out and are always constantly using their imagination to build new devices and whatnot. But I encourage you to try things out. Also check out the Thursday jams and reach out. Discord is the best way to say things like, I'm stuck, I don't know how to do this, and you've got 30 people ready to just drop everything and go, hey, I can help you with that. So believe me, it's been one of my favorite things. Oh, by the way, this guy is he's just, there's a standalone, I was going to tell you, there's a standalone app that you can get for your PC or your Mac that'll let you do more high quality videos. And in this case, I'm using it to do the 360 stream to YouTube. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, I don't know if that's anything that's interesting to you, but if you got any other questions, feel free to check in with me a little later. I will be doing streams periodically. I don't know when, but I will be doing it a lot more in about a month. So stay tuned. Get on the Discord. Subscribe. Smash a bell. I don't care which bell, just any bell. Take it. Find a bell. Smash it.